Up next for the Build for Others series, I am going to build a red devil for a red devil. I'm going to start this in a couple days. This is going to be an in-flight mode plane on a base, and I will show everyone once I get started. I'm not going to do a review on the Academy kit here because I think there's probably a bunch of views on YouTube already about it. This is basically just to rebox the Academy kit, the first one that came out, with the red devil markings and some added extra parts. But I look forward to doing this, so stay tuned on that very, very shortly. The W12, I did get the pontoons built. I'm getting the little suspension things on, best way to explain it, and then just a few minor parts, and I can paint it, hopefully paint it this weekend. I'm going to start decaling it and I can get it out the door. And it's basically going to be in three parts. It's going to be this, and the main wing, and then ODG will have to put it together and put it on their base when they photograph it. The David, I'll tell you one thing. I was working on this. You do get the boiler. And the boiler goes about right here, and it actually kind of extends farther and goes into the chimney. Well, small kit, I understand you can't, put all the way in, and you only can see like part of the boiler anyway. But once you get it assembled, the boiler's too big for this kit anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to omit the boiler and actually make a cylinder one, just to go all the way to about right there where the chimney goes, and that should cover it just right. And I'll just add some styrene detail on the door there, as you really ain't going to see much once you get it pretty much simple, unless you really get up in it. So that's what I'm going to do on that. And I was a dumbass for, if you look at the fin right there, if you notice, I cut that off and sanded it off smooth. I thought, well, that shouldn't be sticking out. There should be a fin, and you get a rudder piece that goes on. So what I'm going to do is once I get this button up, I'll just lay this down and get some styrene and just cut it out and re-glue it on. I'll solve that little problem. But that's what I get for not looking at the kit or the instructions very closely. The X-wing. Farthest I got on there was I did get the tile base drilled out for the aluminum rod. I did build up with styrene to hide the 9-volt battery, and then I'll get that sanded down and get the pole in. But I did go in and get the wings assembled with the engines, and I got the wires fished out. One of the engine's gonna be a little crooked, Joey, because I couldn't help it. I couldn't get it perfectly straight. It's just gonna be like a little bit off, and it's one of these I'll show later on. But I did get it all that on, and I got the engines wired up. Now if you notice the lights, I like to stick them out just a little bit. I think it makes it, once you get them lit, they're super bright, and I think they just look a whole lot better than recessed all the way in. And not really much you could do on the detail on it, but for the inside, because once you get it lit and glowed, and it basically looks like studio scale ones, because they got their lights sticking out on it anyway. But that's what I got there. I did get the bottom drilled out for the pole, so hopefully by the weekend I'll be able to get it mounted and pretty much at least get the bottom part mounted onto the base and let that sit and dry. I am going to change up just a tad on this kit. I'm not going to pin anything, because that's actually more trouble than it's worth. I'm actually going to add like a little bit of a channel here. It's just going to be stripped styrene just to hide the wires and give it some extra support once I get it attached to the body. But it'll be very minute, and it won't affect the shape of the kit at all. So that's what I got going there on the X-wing. The Dragonfly, I started did the pre-shading on it, and now I'm starting to put the base coat on, which is Vallejo light gray with white mixed in, and then this is just a very light base coat covering it, and then I'm going to go back in with more white with the gray and just keep building up layer after layer after layer, and then I should be at the right color that I want. But it's starting to take shape. You see how it's covering up all the pre-shade lines and give it a little definition. Soon for me will be a 72nd scale vacuum form kit of the BSG hanger for your 72nd scale Vipers. That should be available very, very soon. I did manage to get the dragon painted on its wing, and nothing flakes off, so I am very, very happy. So hopefully I will get paint on this weekend, which I can decide on what kind of gray that'll look good, and you know, the painting palette, which is basically going to be grays, but I'm looking forward to that. It'll just be different. I don't get to paint many dragons. So the dino, for the groundwork, I basically use oil dry, kitty litter, and then I go take a trip down to the driveway and get some a little bit of fine gravel, and I mix it all in. And then what I do is I take white glue or wood glue, and I'll put it all over the base, brush it in, and start sprinkling the mix on, and it gives you texture and everything else. And then once you paint it, and you can start airbrushing on it and groundwork, and just makes it look believable. So I'll show everyone how I do that onto the base. So that's what I got going on today. I got the diorama on the dinosaur. Hopefully get to paint the dragon. Got Johnny Quest. We got vacuum form. We got the X-wing, the David, and the W12. And I'll start that very soon. We'll be doing the Red Devil for the Red Devil. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.